Hello, I'm Felix. I'm going to be teaching a two fans, one hand choreography, including all the moves that make it up. So I've just been messing around with it the past couple days and came up with quite a few moves and thought, why not string them together into a sequence. So I'm using a glove. I have like wooden fans, so helps avoid any friction burns or splinters, but you don't have to if you don't want to. And mine are quite thin fans, so it might be a bit more difficult if you have ones with chunky wicks on, but just try your best and see what you can do. So to get started, first move is of the choreography is this, like swinging them in a pendulum. And then from here we're going to go into a figure of 8 like this, so they're staying stacked. And then after that, the next move is this thing where the gravity's helping them to fold open, and then they're folding back together again. So the trick for this is to have your index finger between the fans, because if they're stacked like this, then you could get kind of stuck, like, oh, they're not opening. But having your finger between them helps them be a little bit of a V shape, so that way gravity can take hold of them. So hopefully people have managed that one. And then the next move after that is another fold, but this time we're going to fold even more. So we're releasing them so that they're folding all the way down here and then back again. The main difficulty with this one is that if you just let them go here, they're going to bang together quite hard, so you need to try to control them as they're going down on the second bit. It doesn't really matter on the first half because your arm's in the way, so your arm's not going to make much noise when they hit your arm. Okay, and then the next move looks like this. So to try and explain this, so one way you can think of it is that I'm twisting my arm like this, so I've got my palm up, I'm in this strange awkward position, and then twisting my arm around here, and then doing a full 360 twist like this, so, and then around. So it's 360-degree spin, kind of like this way, and then in a 360-degree spin like in floor plane. But then when you kind of put it together, like when you get a feel for it, then it's a bit more natural, and it's kind of like those twisty motions are sort of happening at the same time. There's more overlap rather than it being one and the other. And you can practice this in the other direction. Yeah, for the purposes of the choreography, I do it so if it's my right hand and I'm looking down on it, then it would be going clockwise. So like this, and then the next move is to go around your head like this, so you're going over the native shoulder first, so the same side. And then, so the next move we're doing is this. So this fan that's kind of like furthest away from me is just on my two fingers, so my middle finger and my ring finger. I'm spinning the other one so that it's at the top, and then releasing, so this bottom one is on these two fingers. I have to release it so that my thumb catches it, and then these fingers can come back here, and then this one folds over the top. And then twisting around this way and doing the same on the other side. So drop it onto the thumb, fold down, twist this way, thumb up, drop onto the thumb, fold down. So then after doing that a few times, we're going to do this move. So the previous move kind of uses half of this move. It's kind of, if you didn't do the fold, then you would be continuing into this move. So it might be helpful to do this one first as like a prerequisite move. So yeah, there's like a floor plane spin going on, as well as like a kind of a wall plane spin. Hopefully people pick that up. It's a bit difficult to explain. But I guess you could kind of maybe break it down in steps. If you twist this way, lift this up, and then, well, maybe, yeah, if you, I don't know, it's kind of just ending up explaining the next move, because they're quite related. So the next one is, so I'm in this position where my palm is forward, and then I'm coming around in an extension, and then doing a floor plane spin to reset to this position where my palm is forward in a natural position, whereas, you know, here the palm is forward, but it's in kind of an awkward, weird position, as this is the position you're in at the start of the move. So an extension, twist your arm back to normal, extension, twist your arm back to normal. And you know, you could do this in the other direction as well. Okay, and then the next move is, so to start this move, we want our back of our hands to be facing away. So after this move, so doing our twist, we only do half a twist. So then our back of our hand is away rather than our palm being away. And then, so we're lifting it to the non-native side around our shoulder while spinning this one. So then we end up behind our shoulder here and then continue to here. So you're essentially doing a figure of 8 with one, but it's not just like a windmill figure of 8. It's like you have to do a bit of a bigger figure of 8, because, you know, if you just tried to do a normal one, then this fan would like hit you in the face. So you have to go a bit wider so that this one can come around behind your head and then back to the front. So hopefully people have got that. Just kind of, one fan is doing a figure of 8 while the other is just doing like a pendulum. It's just being kind of static. And after that, we're going to do half of this move and then flip it to the front so that you're in this O shape. And then after that, we're just going to fold it back down again. And then we're going to do a pirouette, like that, which is hopefully fairly natural. So the fan furthest away is doing an extension circle, and the other one is just being static, just like penduluming. And then after that move, we bring it up to the non-native side, and then bring it across to the other side and open it up into this O relation as we bring it across. So for doing that, I basically have the first fan held like this with my index and pinky finger, and then the second fan is held by my thumb and my middle 2 fingers. So then you should be able to hinge like this. from here we're going to do a little jump like this to re-grip it the other way, and then we're going to bring it across, and this time you kind of use the momentum, so we're swinging it and flipping it at the same time. And yeah, it can be tricky getting them to stay like horizontal. Sometimes they kind of like drop down a bit, and like you can do a little hop to get them back being more level, but then it can also maybe look a bit awkward doing that correction, so it's up to you if you want to use that or not. But yeah, so then from here we then bring it down here, and then we're doing the same kind of thing but vertical, so we're coming up like this and then flipping to the back foot, so like that, and then back the other way. And from here I'm letting the one closest to me drop down so that I'm catching it with my hands both in the circle. So I'm going from this grip where I'm grabbing like both the handles to, where it's kind of an 8 shape, to this where the circles are stacked upon each other for the grips. Yeah, so after you've switched grips, we're doing this move. Which I call pendulum versus incomplete cap, because one of the fans is doing this. So you can see like, so a proper cap would be like that. But here we're essentially doing this, so we're going into that kind of down stall position, but then just like penduluming, we're not bouncing back out of it. That would be difficult to do with 2 fans, 1 hand. So if we go from here, switch the grip, and then bring it out to the side and letting the one closest to you pendulum down, and bringing it over to the non-native side, lifting it up so that you have one that's like pointing up, one that's pointing down kind of thing, and then this one on the bottom, so you have like a static grip, and then it comes across to the other side, and then this one comes down to the bottom again, back to here. So hopefully you get the idea. But yeah, the other fan would basically be doing this, so it's kind of a pendulum, but it's going a bit above vertical. I mean, sorry, a bit above horizontal, so it's kind of pointing upwards rather than just out on one side. Okay, and then next we're going to, from here, go around and pirouette, and then here, flip it round, and then here we're going to release them and kind of give it some downward momentum so that they can swap places, and then re-grip the other way. And then for our final move, so we basically want to flip it inwards like this, so that we can do this, which is basically a 2-beat weave. Or like a figure of 8, but with them in like an O position. But yeah, so to make it look cooler, that transition, rather than just doing a basic flip, you can kind of like, you know, give it a swing like you're winding up into doing the spinny thing. And then to finish it off, just release this down and yeah, nothing like that. Okay, so we're going to run through the choreography again, and you can rewind this as many times as you need in order to get the choreography. So I'm going to pendulum out this way and back and into figure of eights. 2, 3 of those, and then folding, lifting it up, fold and down, fold and down, and then the other fold. And then this one, around the head, and then here and fold. Third one, and then into this move, and then palm forward into extension, and then twist to reset, extension, twist, extension, and then back of the hand forward. You can go behind the shoulder, and then behind the shoulder, stay there, and flip, and then fold down, and then pull up, and then this one, and then down to go to vertical, and then dropping for the grip change, and then here into the ankle hip cut thing. And then pirouette round, flip, pendulum switch, and then wind up into this one, and then drop it down, finish. And so I came up with this just by playing around. It seems like there's not a ton of two hands, one hand content out there, but Doodle does have quite a bit on his channel, so I definitely recommend checking that out if you want to explore two hands, one hand further.